What's up, guys? This is Generic Minority bringing you another Monday Night Raw review. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back again. I'm riding solo tonight. Unfortunately, Chase is busy, but you know what? I'm here. I'm doing the Raw review. So let's get this thing going. I took a long enough break from wrestling to get my feet back into it, especially with the pay-per-view coming up. And also, don't worry, I'll start doing pay-per-view reviews. I flat out just don't like doing them. But I guess I can start doing them now. You know, I'll think about it at least. Anyway, Raw opens up, and guess what? Daddy's home. Daddy's home. Triple H comes out. He says that he wants... So first off, he informs everyone that he, thinks that, like, what's going on with Kane and Seth Rollins is childish, that, he has to come back and say Daddy's home, like, with his own kids, so this way he knows that when he comes back in, they'll stop being in trouble. Same way he's got to do with the WWE and the WWE Universe. So, Triple H comes out, says he wants Kane and Seth to end their feuding. Seth comes out and tells Triple H, hey, Kane's abusing his power. Kane's, an old man who's past his prime, and that Triple H just needs to, quote, put him down. Like, he said put him down like a dog, take him to the yard and put him down like an old dog, but I believe he meant old yeller. So he basically says have Kane put down. He's an old sick dog that doesn't know what's the difference between right and wrong, much like old yeller who had rabies, if memory serves about the story. So it's time to go put him down. Of course, Kane doesn't like this. Kane comes out, says he wants to beat Seth Rollins. That's it. He just wants to beat him up. He says he wants to eviscerate him, all types of Kane stuff from back when he was Mass Kane and still at least intimidating, not necessarily credible. And Triple H tells him, he gets in between, he tells Kane he needs to check his ego, but he can understand that why somebody would want to punch Seth Rollins in the face because Seth Rollins is annoying. And at one point he even tells Seth to shut up when he keeps chiming in to, say about how bad Kane is. However, Triple H says that if Seth loses at Payback, Kane may not be the director of operations anymore. To which Kane pretty much says, I don't care. It's worth it to, lose my job in order to either watch Seth lose or beat Seth down myself. But Triple H eventually calms everyone down, and he announces some matches. He announces that all 4 competitors in the Payback main event are in matches. First off he announces Kane versus Roman Reigns, and Seth to take on Randy Orton in the main event. And, excuse me as I scroll down here, take Randy Orton on in the main event. And Jamie Noble, man, I really, is it just me, or is Jamie Noble, like, extra heavy with a southern twang? I don't know why Jamie Noble feels so southern twangy to me. And I guess he always has been, but he hasn't been in WWE in a while, so I haven't had a reason to talk about him, but that's beside the point. Jamie Noble's super southern twang comes out of nowhere, and, he, says what Triple H is doing is same thing, abuse of power. You can't have the champ in a match before the pay-per-view comes up. And Triple H belittles him, literally gets down low, like to Jamie Noble's height. Jamie Noble's like 5'7", I believe. And, tells him and Joey Mercury that they're going to have to face off 2-on-1 handicap match against the Idiot Fringe, Dean Ambrose. Yes, I know it's been a while, but yes, I still call Dean Ambrose the Idiot Fringe until he proves to me otherwise. So that match is happening now. So we get the Idiot Fringe versus J&J Security, and of course the Idiot Fringe wins. And what was an okay match? It's exactly what you expect in a handicap match that features not necessarily J&J Security are kind of like joke security, kind of like guys that are meant to get beat. So it was like the match you expect. They got their little offense in, Also, they're older guys now, or at least now they are, and they haven't been in the ring consistently in a while. So it was the kind of match you expected. Dean did a lot of the selling, and then when it came to putting down, Dean finally wins. So that happened, and next, Sheamus comes out. He's on commentary for some odd reason. It's not odd to me, but I'm just gonna say some odd reason. He's out in commentary, and Dolph Ziggler comes out looking like he looks like he should have been in the movie Zapped. If anyone who doesn't know what Zapped is, which is probably most of my audience, it's like an 80s movie featuring Christian Slater. He looks like Christian Slater in the 80s. Like he's just dressed like an 80s movie star. He looks like he should be in The Breakfast Club. He's got like a torn up vest and a headband on. He just looks. It's not weird because Dolph Ziggler. I expect him to, and he's been wearing the vest for a while. I expect him to come out in something kind of to catch everyone's attention because I mean, quite frankly, people keep forgetting about him. I mean, the higher ups who are in charge of putting people into matches and things like that and making the main event, the guys, the head honchos are all kind of putting them to the wayside. But as I mute my TV there, so he comes out and stuff that'll catch people's attention and have them going, "You're the guy's gonna put Dolph Ziggler in the main event." But anyway, Dolph Ziggler is coming out, so of course that's why Sheamus is out there. He's got a match with King Barrett, which I like that name so much better than I liked Bad News Barrett. I hope he doesn't stop doing the bad news stuff, but it looks like he's just switched to this whole full-on Regal thing, kind of like when Booker T became king and he just switched straight over to King Booker. Like, some guys don't become they become king, but they don't put on the king persona. Usually heels put on this like really big Regal persona, and because Bad News Barrett is Wade Barrett. Sorry, King Barrett is British. He really has to put it over the top with it, but it's fine. I don't hate it, and he's winning matches, so it's King Barrett versus Dolph Ziggler, and King Barrett wins off the distraction by Sheamus. Sheamus on commentary just belittling Dolph. It was a solid match, same thing. Nothing to complain about, at least. And jeez, sorry guys, there was like a huge lightning strike outside. It's currently storming where I live at right now, and you guys might have heard that rumble coming from outside. But anyway, yeah. King Bear wins, and Sheamus comes into the ring off the distraction by Sheamus, and Sheamus wins, or not wins. He comes in the ring and goes for the aftermatch beatdown on Dolph. Eventually, makes Dolph eat a brogue kick and walks away with his hair. He doesn't have the hair. He came up with his little cabbie hat on, so his hair wasn't spiked up. To see it kind of like flattened down, it still looks okay. One thing I will say when it comes to Sheamus is I don't understand why everyone like hates this new thing. Here's the thing, people. You have to understand. You can't. Jeez, this lightning is freaking bright. It's like it's actually striking the ground where I live at. What you guys have to understand is that a lot of people kept complaining about Sheamus always being face, always winning. Sheamus always, oh god, Sheamus always only wins, and he never loses, and blah 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 blah. So people complain about him when he's a face. Same thing with Randy Orton. People complain about him when he. Jeez, I wonder if you guys can hear this. People always complain day in day out about him winning, and when he was a face, and then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, now he's a heel, and blah blah blah. They said he was boring as a face, but now they're booing him. It's just really dumb. You guys got to get into the character. The character is like a broguish rogue, like how he should have been, not even should have been, how he was when he first started in the WWE. And now you could argue that this is just a rehashing, but he's got a new look. I don't know why people hate the look so much. I get some people are in with the mohawk and all that. That's fine, but the bearded, the braided beard, very like, it's very Irish, Celtic warrior. It's very Celtic warrior. It's like avant-garde, kind of like battle-ready hair, as opposed to like, the less hair you have, the better when it comes to having fights. So it makes sense to me. I don't know why everyone's hating on it so much, but hey, people are gonna feel however they want to feel. Next we get, what are we going? Let me look at my notes. Next we get the Garbage Man, Eric Rowan, and out of Chase. Garbage Man Eric Rowan comes out with Luke Harper to face Fandango. Now, apparently, and I don't watch SmackDown, not consistently at least. Last week, Eric Rowan came back and made amends with Luke Harper. I don't know why. So now the Garbage Man and Luke Harper, Mr. Eyeballs, are back together again. So we'll see how that goes. To make a long story short, in 37 seconds, I believe, he beat Fandango, which I remember saying it a while ago. Fandango is back over again because of his theme music, and I remember saying it a while back when he first came back with the flamenco stuff, that the reason why he's not over in that character is because little white kids can't dance to his music. But now he can't. Like, it's a little like, you can't dance to that flamenco music. That requires actual dance training. Even though his character is a dancer, you expect something along the lines like that. No, people can't. Normal people can't do that, quote unquote. So people weren't getting behind it. So Fandango comes out. People are totally behind him. He loses in 37 seconds. And, the crowd goes mild for Garbage Man's return with Mr. Eyeballs, Luke Harper. And I don't care. It sucks to see Fandango losing now that he's over again. I don't know how I feel about his persona now being really, like, aware of Fandangoing. I'm sorry, I'm listening to a bit of irony on my screen right now from the Ascension. I'll talk about them in a minute. Fandango loses to, and I don't know what they're planning for, the former Wyatt family. Next, we get the Super Cena Ego Booster. The John Cena Open Challenge for the U.S. title. So this is a thing that's been going on since he's been doing it, but this is the first time I'm mentioning it. He constantly has to talk before each one. Like, he always cuts a promo about how much people like him and how much people hate him and how important the title is and how this is an opportunity for someone to come out and make history. And it's like, what is beating you for the United States title, like, history? Carlito beat him for the United States title when Carlito first started, and it's even been referenced before. Like, Carlito doesn't work in WWE anymore. He said that he was like, I have your number. I've beaten you for the U.S. title. And, Cena, of course, belittled, and this was one of the beginnings of Cena belittling almost every other person that steps up to him. So, Cena talking about beating him for the U.S. title is a way to make history and things like that. And what I'm looking at right now looks like it's going to be awesome. Sorry, what Cena running around talking about beating him for the U.S. title is history making. It's an opportunity for someone to make history. Nothing. It doesn't matter. It's not important. No one cares. Oh, no, I beat Super Cena after he's, beating a bunch of other people to stroke his own ego. I don't care. And WWE thinking that they're bringing prestige back to the U.S. title by having Cena beat a bunch of, not necessarily nobodies, but guys who aren't, he's not going to beat for the U.S. title, makes no sense. Just have him face off in a match. He's like, Cena's open challenge in general. Anyone wants to come face me in the match, that'll be the guy that's the new number one contender if I'm still champion. That easily could have just been a thing, and to have Cena, win and lose some would have been fine. But, whatever. They had to get the Super Cena Ego Stroke Challenge to, Super Cena because he needs it. He's not a, world champ right now, so he needs an ego booster until they eventually strap the title on him for another month. And they do that like 6 more times. No, he's on 15 now. 5 more times when they make him a 20-time world champion. If you think that's not going to happen, you're crazy. He's going to be a 20-time world champion. And it looks like Axelmania is a face. Sorry for the spoilers for the future of this, which is awesome. I'm glad they're giving him a chance. So Super Cena's running his mouth, and he opens up the challenge, and of course, it's answered by Adrian Neville. No, I'm not calling him Neville. His name is Adrian Neville. I'm sick of this whole WWE name shortening that's been going on. It's just like, it's really irritating. Stop with the name shortening. Because it's like, where do you draw the line at? Are you going to call Kevin Owens? Or are you going to call Sami Zayn? Are you? It's like, where do you draw the line at when you're going to stop calling a guy, just his one name? They don't call John Cena when he comes out. So why would you even go as far as to, like, just shorten the guy's name? Because I get it. It's because it makes it easier to chant. But it also makes him more forgettable. His name is just Neville. In fact, when you hear the word Neville and you think about wrestling, if you're not a wrestling fan, you're going to go, you mean that fat guy from Harry Potter? Yeah, no, I don't want to watch that. And no, but it's actually an exciting young athlete, and which is Pac, by the way. If anyone doesn't know who Neville is but knows who he was, it was Pac. He was a high-flying wrestler from the Indies. So it's just annoying. Anyway, moving on. Cena and Adrian Neville have a solid match. It actually looks like Adrian Neville's going to win. He goes, and he actually hit the, I believe it's called the Red Arrow. I know in the Indies it was called the British Airways. He hits the Red Arrow. He looks like he's about to beat Cena, and I don't know how he didn't see but Rusev does just come into the ring and stomp him like on the back, and then knock him out with the super kick, and proceed to beat down Cena, put him in the the accolade, until he passes out, of course. And to be dominant, no Lana for us to ogle at, which sucks. And that's it. Neville gets Adrian Neville gets the DQ win, but of course Cena keeps the title. They keep talking. Here's the thing about this whole, especially with the Cena Open Challenge, they keep talking about how his match against Rusev, whether or not he's a champion, is going to still happen. So why not just have him lose the U.S. title? You could give that to someone else that gives you a whole nother match. It's not like Rusev and Cena don't have a feud. It doesn't have to be having it for the title doesn't mean anything. All it does mean is like if Cena having the title means is that Cena's gonna win. That's it. If he doesn't have the title, he has no reason to beat Rusev, and Rusev could beat him and then go on to do other things. But they have to have Cena have the title because this way Cena can win with it, bring prestige to the title, blah 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 blah. But yeah, moving on. Next, we get Kane versus Roman Reigns. Before the match can even start, Kane just starts beating down Roman Reigns. To make a long story short, he beats down Roman Reigns a bunch. And eventually he's about to go chokeslam him through the table, but Roman gets the upper hand and spears him over the table. Like, he spears him and then they go over the announce table. I don't know why I got the sneaking suspicion. It's probably not true, but he was supposed to spear him into the table and kind of break it, or spear him and pick him up and slam him through the table, kind of like a spine buster. But I don't know. Maybe that's because it's me. I thought I would think that'd be more exciting. But Roman does spear Kane over the table, and he stands on the table and cocks his fist because he's cockfist. And so that's a thing that happened. Next, we get Brie Bella versus Tamina Snuka. I don't know why. Okay, it's Brie Bella versus Tamina Snuka. Tamina won. She super kicked the ever-loving crap out of Brie, to my childish glee. But she kicks her in the face, knocks her out, and then what's the word? I don't understand why this is happening. They have Naomi. She's gonna be facing Nikki for the title at Payback. Here's the thing. Why did Naomi have to become the heel? Here's the thing. Throughout the point of their feud, the beginning parts of their feud, she wasn't a heel. She was a face, and then they made her a heel by having her attack Paige. One, which I don't care about. And two, why? Why did that happen? It didn't have to happen at all. Why does the black girl have to be the heel when they face off against the white chicks? Why? Why do black people always got to be the bad people in WWE? I think it's Vince McMahon's lazy racist writing. That's just me. And I know that's, it was generic minority. Of course he thinks it's... Everything Vince McMahon writes for black people on is, really racist. Okay, not him specifically. Everything his team of writers writes is really racist. You had... Let's just run short. Obviously not everything has always been racist. Ron Simmons... Early on, in his career, he was... Oh my God, there's a dude on my screen just like Ahmed Johnson. He was, not just some... he was just, a wrestler. And then you get into... guys like who I just mentioned, Ahmed Johnson, who are angry black guy. Mark Henry, angry black guy. Nation of Domination was the last thing that they wrote that was just kind of empowering black people, but they were still kind of they were all militant and whatnot, like Malcolm X, so it's still kind of black people are violent, kind of, And then you got primetime players who just go around talking about money and dancing. You got the New Day, which are a knockoff of a Baptist church. I call them the New Slaves. And then, why is there a black girl dressed like freaking Summer Rae? Okay, anyway. And then you have Mark Henry, big old burly black guy, just go around beating people up, talking Southern talk, man. You go and get this work. I'm still got more left in the tank. He can't just be same thing in Nation of Domination, though. And then you have, Tamina Snuka, who's not really black, Samoan. Nobody ever remembers the black part of The Rock or anything. No one remembers the black people that are part of the Samoans. The Rock being one of them. And you have Naomi, and then you have Cameron, who is a sassy black chick, and you have Naomi, which no one's heard high nor tail of her. She is also a heel, so where's that going? And then you have Naomi, who's just like this angry black chick, and it's just like, why does she have to be an angry black chick? Why they gotta go around beating up people? And here's the thing too, they say in the opening part of the match, like in those little squared box on the side interviews, that they were just giving the Bellas a taste of their own medicine, having power in numbers. You know, it's always been 2-against-1. Well, now it's 2-on-2. So they're evening things out. So why is Naomi the face or a heel? Why are the Bellas the face? They're still the heels. And then Michael Cole says on the at the commentary table, the Bellas said they understand Naomi's want to be champion, but she could have went about it a different way. And it's like, no, because the Bellas are heels. So that's why she went about it the way she did. In fact, it's justifying a end to a means and things like that. It's like, I just hate having to watch, Naomi have to be a heel because WWE has, shitty, lazy writing. So that's a thing that happened. But Tamina won, so I guess, Tamina getting a win is something nice. And it's good to see her not injured anymore. I don't know what's up with her hair, though. That's a loss right there. So I guess she's 1-1. So next, we get Axelmania versus Macho Man Dow, which is Damian Sandow's new thing. He's Macho Man Randy Savage now. So I'm just thinking about this now. But I'll talk about that in a second. They had a little altercation. I think it was last week or Thursday on SmackDown, and Axelmania and Macho Man Dow have a match, which is interrupted by the Dissension. Yes, I call them the Dissension because they're lower. They're not going up anywhere. They're just going down the ladder. The Dissension comes out and they start talking about how you can't just dress up like Hall of Famers. You actually have to be ones, which I said earlier was kind of ironic because, they dress like Legion of Doom and whatnot. But all that culminates with them getting beat up, and then Axelmania and Macho Man Dow teaming up. So we have the let's not call them the Mega Powers. Let's call them the Minor Powers. And I know I'm not the first person to probably coin that phrase tonight, but let's call them the Minor Powers for now, which is a name that is probably a real thing. And the match is announced. It's the Minor Powers versus the Dissension. So Axelmania and Macho Man Dow, they shake hands, and they're going to face off against the Dissension on at Payback. So that's fun. I hope they actually stay a tag team. They seem like an interesting tag team. Way more interesting than the New Day. Way more likable than Cesaro and Kid. Probably more fun to watch than the Usos. I don't hate the Usos or anything like that. It's just they're probably more fun to get behind. So because I'm totally behind Miz Dow, and I'm totally behind Axelmania. So, or not Miz Dow, Damian Sandow, Mandow, and Axelmania. So I'm totally behind them to getting the opportunity to possibly be tag team champs. Next, we get Daniel Bryan talking about his injuries, and to make a long story short, he drops the IC title. Says he's going to be out. He doesn't know how long. He may never even wrestle again. But that the WWE Universe, as I fix my mic, deserves a fighting champion. So that's what he's going to give them. He's going to gracefully back out and drop the IC title. He leaves in the ring, or he leaves the title in the ring, and we get a thank you, Bryan, chant, which is good for him. Next, we get the New Slaves. They come out. That's the New Day for anyone who doesn't know. We get the New Slaves, and Big E's got a one-on-one match with Antonio Cesaro. Cesaro won. The match wasn't anything spectacular. It was probably other than the Garbage Man versus Fandango match, it was the other shortest match on the card. I mean, and it was probably one of the weaker ones, in ring wise. Not really. It was mostly just Cesaro and Big E trading power games, which is whatever. But I don't like the New Slaves, and I'm not super interested in Tyson Kidd and Cesaro as a tag team. I'm more concerned with looking at Natty dressed in that freaking dominatrix outfit she's got on now, but they don't really show her a lot on camera, so that upsets me. Next, we get Bray Wyatt, and he's talking like he always does. He just talks, never stops talking, and I don't care, which is sad because I like Bray Wyatt. I just don't want to hear him talk. I want to see him in matches, but he talks for way too long. He cuts like a Triple H length, like half-hour not really, it's more like 5-10 minutes, which is eventually cut off by Ryback, who comes on and just beats him down, which is awesome. Because I don't want to hear, I want to see altercations, not just people standing there talking all the time. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. I think it's just I'm glancing over a lot of stuff because it wasn't really interesting. Next we get Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton in our main event. It's a solid match, good back and forth. Same thing like their match at Mania, and it is cut off in the middle, not the middle, at the apex of it, much like the Rusev, or much like the Open Cena Stroke Fest. I mean the U.S. Open title match. It's cut off by interference. JJ Security come in. They beat down Orton, which gives Orton the DQ win, which is really annoying to keep watching heels lose technically, because they can't just have them like. If you just had Seth lose, normally, yes, that makes the character look weaker, or it makes it look weak because he shouldn't be losing, he's the champ. But if you constantly have him being DQ'd, lost because of interference, it gets really annoying, and that also makes his character look weak. So it's not just character looking weak, it's his character being annoying and looking weak. But J&J Security come in, they beat down Orton. They're doing that, and then Kane starts to come out, and he grabs a steel chair, but he doesn't do anything, and he looks like he's going to go attack Seth, but eventually he just stops. They convince him to stop, and they proceed to beat down Orton. But Orton gets the save from the Idiot Fringe, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns, a.k.a. Cockfist. And they launch J&J Security out of the ring, and they think in the ring at least that Kane is going to come and save Seth, but he doesn't. He just stands there, and they proceed to all hit their finishers on him. Dean first hits him with the Dirty Deeds, and then they kind of look at Kane and see he's not going to do anything, so Dean sets Seth up for a spear, and he eats one from the Cockfist, and then eventually the Idiot Fringe and Cockfist both pick him up, and then they feed him to Randy Orton, who hits him with an RKO. Kane does nothing, just stands there. And when everyone's all celebrating, super hype, Roman Reigns, I believe he Superman punches him. That's a lie. He spears him? I literally just couldn't remember. Roman Reigns spears Randy Orton, and then they're super hype about it, and then of course the Idiot Fringe hits him with the Dirty Deeds, and that's how Raw ends with Dean Ambrose standing on top. But it was a hometown show, so I suspected nothing less. Hometown before, and you need to make Dean, the guy who's been losing pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view. In fact, I don't think he has a single pay-per-view win as a singles wrestler. You have to have him not only get the win tonight, but be standing on top in his hometown. So, at least that's proof he's not like Natty, where they'll just flat out have him lose, as I take a sip of my beverage, in his own hometown. So I guess that's better than nothing. So overall, all the matches tonight were pretty solid. It was an okay go-home show, not anything, but I mean, compared to some of the other go-home shows recently, this is way farther ahead. So, or not way farther ahead, at least slightly farther ahead. So, I'm gonna have to give this Raw maybe. All the matches were solid, worked matches. Some of them were a little bit short, and some seemed like they didn't need to be there. Like the Eric Rowan, Luke Harper one didn't seem like it needed to be there. Garbage Man versus Fandango didn't feel like it needed to be there, other than to establish that, Garbage Man and Crazy Eyes Luke Harper are back together as a tag team. But other than that, not really much to complain about. It was a solid Raw, especially for me getting back into Raw reviews. I'd give it like a B-. If I on a scale of 1 to 10 had to give this Raw, I'd probably give it like a 6.5. Like it's above average. So it was overall solid Raw. Can't complain. Hopefully the pay-per-view is worthwhile, and I'll catch you guys next week for the next one. Peace.